Hey, it's Katish. Another day, another cemetery. I'm just going to turn this around and talk to you now to show you that I've come to pay respects to Ivy Mitchell, but at Ivy Mitchell's mother's grave. So here we are at Toowong Cemetery, and what I discovered, because I was wanting to place a flower on Ivy Mitchell's grave today, because the episode has gone live on the podcast, the Infinite Life podcast about her murder, and Ernest Austin came in today, and I already went to Ernest's mass grave the other day. But today I discovered that Jensina Mary Widdrup Mitchell was the name of Ivy's mother. And I'm thinking she's right in front of me right there in the unmarked grave, because I used the Brisbane City Council app. And the reason that people can't find Ivy's grave at the Sanford Cemetery, I think, is because either she's in an unmarked grave, but my senses say that she's right here, buried with her mother. And the reason that my senses say that is because if the people on findagrave.com have done their research properly, then Ivy's mother died on the 8th of November 1912, aged 46, and her daughter Ivy was murdered the following year. And so why that speaks to me is that this is Toowong Cemetery, and it was the most prominent cemetery in Brisbane. And if you listen to Ivy's original discussion with Megan on the podcast in season 5, then you'll know that Ivy said she was feeling a bit rebellious on the afternoon that she died. And if I understand this correctly, that's because her father remarried very quickly. And so at the time that Ivy's mother died, between the time that Ivy's mother died and when Ivy was laid to rest herself, there was a new stepmother, which is a bit odd, isn't it? So I have nowhere to place this flower that I picked, so I'm just going to put it here anyway to say rest in peace, Jensina and Ivy. So it just seems weird. But anyway, a bit weird and lonely. But it does say here that James Alexander Mitchell was her husband. And then, I've really got to get better at doing this. If my theory is correct from my senses, if your mum died only 7 months before you died, because you were murdered, then you would be buried in the same plot as your mum, right? Why would you go and get a separate plot all the way out at Sanford or Cedar Creek? I think if this is where Ivy's mum was buried, in the Toowong Cemetery, then Ivy would be here. And I'm only just thrown because, unmarked graves, if you couldn't afford the headstones, then, like you can see over there, they're the unmarked graves, because it was really expensive to be able to do a grave. And if you've just had one family member die, then it's very common practice to put the other family member in here. So, and on the spouse on findagrave.com, it says that Mariana Goodison Mitchell was James Alexander Mitchell's second wife, and they married, as you can see, 1913. So when Ivy went out that afternoon, she was feeling rebellious because her mother had just died and there was already a new stepmother. So I'm going to put that flower there because I believe Ivy and her mum are buried here, and her stepmom is buried in North Rockhampton Cemetery. So, and her father is, I think, also buried up that way as well. So anyway, I am very late now to go and pick up my son, but what I find strange about this is that I've been in this cemetery so many times and I didn't know that Ivy was buried here, because I only put 2 and 2 together today when I went on the Brisbane City Council website and when I visited findagrave.com. So, finding graves is hard. Paying respects is easier. Mentally and through communicate, it's much easier to communicate in the afterlife than it is to communicate and find a grave, in my opinion. And also, sorry, there's too many other people trying to speak to me right now. If you also get the same strong feeling that Ivy is right here with me, buried in front of me, then let me know. But I don't know how her poor mum died. That's not something that's been researched, and it's not part of my mission, I guess. So rest in peace, Ivy's mum and Ivy, and bless your souls, bless your hearts. And if you go to findagrave.com, you can place a virtual flower on Ivy Mitchell's grave. So that would be great if people who listen to the Infinite Life podcast would like to go on to findagrave.com and research Ivy Mitchell, and I'll show you her thing. Oh, man. Sorry. So many pages of paper. Here we go. Ivy Alexandra Mitchell. Turn around. Ivy Alexandra Mitchell. She had 5 brothers and sisters. And there's nobody that has actually researched it in depth has ever found a grave for her at the Samford Cemetery or the Cedar Creek Cemetery. That's her there. So I put a flower here where I think she's actually buried with her mother, and on the Find a Grave. So it'd be great if you could put it on Find a Grave for her as well. Okay. Don't forget to go listen to Ernest's testimonial, his mediumship. And also, I actually drove in the cemetery today for like the second time ever. It feels really weird, but you can do it. You can actually follow the streets. And yeah, you can see, there's the number I was looking for. The numbers are often really quite hard to find. See 7. Anyway, that's it from me. I hope you find today's episode insights fascinating. Please leave me a comment so I can understand what you thought of the whole gory saga. Namaste.